Okay, so here we are again. Now I'm going to be using the book for units of measure because it's a really small topic and it's important though. You need to know what these units are consisting of. So micro, milli, centi, deci, kilo. These are the prefixes, and I'm going to explain you how you write them. So micro means 10 raised to the power negative 6 because this is 1 divided by a million. Then milli is 1,000, which means 10 raised to the power negative 3. Okay? Now, when you look at centi, that is 10 raised to the power negative 2. Centi is 100th. Deci is 1/10, which means 10 raised to the power minus 1 or negative 1. When you look at kilo is basically 10 raised to the power 3, 1,000 times. You see how I have written these values? I hope you understand what I meant by them. Okay. Now let's go to the mass. Now, how do we measure mass? We measure mass in micrograms. Micro means 10 raised to the power negative 6. We measure mass in milligrams. 10 raised to the power negative 3. We measure it in simple grams and we measure it in kilograms. Now there is also ounce and pound given. Pound. Now 1 ounce is 28.35 grams. And 1 pound or 1 lb is 16 ounces or ounces. 1 lb is 456 grams and 1 kilogram is 2.2 lbs. I hope this is understandable. Now volume. You can see how we're measuring volume. We use the metric system mostly, milliliter, deciliter, liter, and then there is the teaspoon, tablespoon, fluid oz, cup, pint, quart, gallon. Those who cook would know it better how to do these things. And length. For length, we have millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer, inch, foot, yard, mile, and we have these conversions. Sorry. You should also see these learning activities at the end. You should always try to do these activities because these are good, really good for summarizing whatever you have learned. Okay, so enough of measurement units. Now let's look at lifestyle and nutrition. This is the second learning outcome. We need to explain the impact of factors or determinants of on health, and that's what we are going to do: lifestyle and nutrition. In addition to nutrition, health is also affected by genetics, environment, life cycle, and lifestyles. Lifestyle is also like a part of your environment. It's an environmental factor. It affects health at a greater extent. There are people who are not born fat, but because of their lifestyle, they become obese. Because of less physical activity, they become obese. And because of using non-quality foods, they become obese, and then they get a lot of other physical problems as well. So The HHS states, Health and Human Services states that being physically active is one of the most important steps that Americans of all ages can take to improve their health. The 2008 Physical Activity Guideline for Americans provides science-based guidance to help Americans age 6 and older improve their health through appropriate physical activity. Well, this just means that there are a lot of Americans who are obese. I'm trying not to offend anyone here, but that's the truth. And people need to take steps to change that. Okay, so there are physical activities that can, when you do physical activities, what happens, there is decreases in the risk of early death. I'm going to write this down here. Decreases in the risk of early death. There is a decrease in the rate of in heart diseases. You don't get heart diseases so easily. You don't get a stroke so easily. You know what's a stroke, right? Okay. You don't get type 2 diabetes so easily. It improves your blood pressure and prevents certain cancers, prevents weight gains and falls, and improves cognitive function in elderly. I'm going to write this all down because these are the things that you need to know about being physically active. Okay, so I'm just going to put it in here. Okay, so now we're at the section of recreational drug use, which includes tobacco smoking, the traditional smoking that people do. Then there is electronic smoking, aka vaping. And then there is alcohol consumption. And then there is narcotics and other illegal drugs. You know, these have a large impact on our health, right? Yet, people still don't stop using them. So, in the next clip, we are going to discuss how these things harm us and how we can stop that.